Open data is very important for two perspectives. One is for decision makers, policy makers, either within the public service or the private service, but it's also important for the public, depending on what they need, what they want to see, so that they can avail services as they want it and they can be more informative in the future. NHS is probably one of the best organizations when it comes to having data and using it in the right way. So NHS.uk will give you all the information about services in your area, put in a postcode, you'll know what you want to need, when you need it and how to access it. But the other side of the information, which stays within the NHS, is very important for decision makers, policymakers, as well as for investment purposes. So for example, how much you want to spend in prevention, how much you want to spend on treatment, and you get the balance right. Because cancer treatments can cost hundreds of thousands of pounds, while recruiting health visitors who can do a phenomenal amount of work in prevention of disease and health promotion can have certain aspects. So that's how we split data and make the right use of it. One of the things is the misuse of the data, and we want to use the data. We want public or even anyone out there to use the data in the right way. For example, we within the NHS use it for health needs assessment, as I mentioned, for commissioning purposes and investment. But for the public, I'll give you a simple example is that if we put out data on breastfeeding uptake rates, in various wards and boroughs, etc., there's likelihood that a company which produces formula milk may misuse that data, in marketing that in an area where we actually want to put up the breastfeeding rates, but it's sort of mixed at the moment. So that's why we are cautious about giving lower level data. The other important part is the Data Protection Act. That doesn't allow you to put small data at ward level or SOA level in the public domain. But of course, subject access request, and for treatment purposes, it is freely shared within professionals who have signed up to the NHS contract. We make things open what is required for people. We would never hold back anything that the public need. But what we keep back is something that is more important for NHS purposes, within the NHS. So there's nothing that is secret or private except the things that are legally we are bound on protecting. So Data Protection Act provides sharing of patients' data without patient consent unless it is for medical purposes. So there is no restriction on sharing data, but there is definitely a limit on what you should be and how it should be shared with the public. I would say no, in the current technology, I don't think there is any problem in, if we wanted to get it out, there are ways and means to get it out. There's technology, there's internet, there's mapping, there's absolutely anything and everything. So there's absolutely no hindrance as such, apart from the laws, the legality and the purpose.